Welcome aboard.
Welcome back to Seasmith. In this week's video, I joined my mum on her birthday for a fishing trip on the Dorset coast in my old boat Sundancer. Since I moved on to my current boat, Nacho, Sundancer has been fitted out with a new engine and had no problem powering us through some swelly conditions to the promised land. Stay tuned for some tight lines, unexpected swims, and of course, a satisfying cook-up.
Oh! Welcome aboard. This is the captain. This is Captain Pumpkin. Are you right, little fella?
At the helm, captain's seat, our indoor cabin, cooker set. It's not too bad in here actually, is it? In terms of condition. After around 20 minutes of sitting in the sun and getting the boat ready, it was time to lower the engine, untie the lines and set sail. Right, you want your centre one off? Do you normally take it off at this point?
Yeah, undo it all down, and then undo it all. I take all the lines with me.
Oh, you take them with you?
I take them all with me. I've got used to having things in here and doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Alright, you're free. Do you want to explain what happens when you drive the boat?
Well, yeah, it's low tide and I kind of landed on some shingle. But my son, my hero, saved the day. He jumped in, pushed the boat off, and now we're off fishing.
Basically, some context of what happened there. We were coming through the buoyage system, which we normally do in Christchurch. I've gone through it before in Nacho and kind of explained how this one works. But as you can see, it gets super shallow right here. You can see where the red can is, and then you can see where it's land. You see where all the birds are sat on. So what Mum did was kind of stick to the red cans, thinking that would be the safest option for her, not knowing that typically in these kind of channels, obviously it will get shallower the closer you get to that red can. So if you're ever in a position like this, well, we don't have green cans yet, you've got the bank that side and only the red can, is stick to the center as much as you can. Up ahead we have the green and red buoyage channel starting up here, but no damage done, luckily. We just kind of just some hurt pride. Yeah, so just to explain what we actually did then is, well, first thing we did was put anchor down, which kind of stopped us floating around or bobbing around or getting ourselves into any more danger. We weren't in any danger, but it kind of then gives you control of the situation. So we put the anchor down, lifted the engine up out of the water, so there was no damage to the prop, nothing like that, and then just assess the situation, turn the engine off, and just kind of have a look at our surroundings. The water depth was about just over knee height. Well, the wind was pushing us towards shallower area, so by putting the anchor down, stopping engine, and just kind of assessing the situation, it gave us time, which I think I've mentioned before. Time buys you a lot in these kind of situations if you can get it. And then yeah, it was easy enough just to then figure it out. We debated just waiting for the tide to rise a little bit. We knew it was going to be super shallow, but instead what I did, I just jumped in, hence why I'm a bit wet down bottom half. I just pushed the boat out. We're in a harbour, so it's really sheltered, it's really protected, there's no heavy boat traffic. I know these waters, it's not deep around here anywhere, it's very safe, so it was fine for me to step out and just push the boat back into the channel, and we reset, and we're gone, we're again. So no hurt done. What is our target catch for the day?
Anything that's swimming. Mackerel and Pollack, hopefully. I love a bass, but if there are mackerel in at the moment, we've had a few, loads of Pollack. Not big ones, but all good.
This is the difference that the kind of ledge on Hengistbury Head makes. You can see how rough it is. Oh, I think you can. All the white caps that you can see in the distance. And as soon as we get past, so much smoother, so much calmer.
See the fish coming right up. Close down there.
Changing spots.
First garfish I've caught. Do you like it, Pumpy? What left for dinner? Go off! Might change these over then. Might be garfish though. Oh, I got two! Great! Oh my god, oh mackerel! Oh my god, Johnny! Oh, mackerel!
We're in.
Brilliant! Let me get these out of the way.
See, at the moment I picked the rod up, 4 fish. Come out of the way. Mackerel, we're in. String of 4 of them. Good size Mackie. Yep. Right, that was a great first drift. We're going to start the engine again if it wants to start, and do another drift. Yeah, you've got one little like. Oh, fish is amazing though. Look at it. Definitely gonna have to get a spare rod on Nacho.
Oh well, I thought you'd get a telescopic one.
Yeah.
Because you can keep it under the doodahs.
The doodahs.
In the middle bit. The doodahs.
The centre lockers.
In the pill.
You're coming towards us, is it?
Yeah. There's a black boy and they normally go for as well.
One of those mackies I caught right near the surface. He must have chased me all the way up because I saw him come on. Like I could see him in the water when I caught him. Heading back to the ridge for one more drift before it's probably gonna be time to head in. But I'm already happy. If we don't catch anything else, anything more, already happy with what we've caught. A good day. It's a string. I think it's a string. What is it? It's a wrasse. Lovely wrasse. Got the net. Where is it? She's in.
Oh wait, pumpy.
Said one last cast before we packed in, and we got the best mackerel of the day. What do you think of that, Pumpkin? Beauty.
Pumpy.
Alright, one more.
I said this is, but that's what yours did, isn't it?
One more cast.
You said that.
Yeah, but I said that, and then I got the
one.
best fish of the day, I'd say.
Yeah. There's a load more coming through. Fish sort of. Ready?
Yeah.
Station. This is Sundancer. The maritime station.
Great session out. I think we'll do a head count when we get back, but 3 different species: garfish, mackerel, and a wrasse.
Decent wrasse.
Yeah, it was a good sized wrasse. Hey? A bit calmer now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thanks, really lovely day.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Nice one.
Catch them all soon. Thanks
Yeah.
for the kits, like Google.
That's alright, I'll drop it back off.
Yeah, no worries as well.
Oh, what a brilliant time out on the water. Just got back to the car. I'm going to head back and get this. So I ended up taking the bigger mackerel and 2 of the bigger-ish ones. There should be 3 in there. Oh, it should give me 4. Nice. Cool. I'm going to get these back, put them in the fridge, and I will see you back for a cook-up in the kitchen. So welcome back, guys. It's actually the next day. So we got back in at about 5 o'clock-ish, I think, last night, or yesterday afternoon after our little fishing trip. I had a few errands to run in the evening, so I ended up filleting these. These are our mackerel fillets, or mackerel from yesterday. My mum took home a couple of the smaller mackerel that I think she's going to use for bait, and also the garb, which I think she's going to cook up. And I took home 4 of the mackerel that we caught. I got the biggest one, which I'm very happy about. And then about midnight last night, I did some filleting. Now, please don't judge me on this, because it was gone midnight last night. I was very tired and I didn't have the best knife for the job. But we do have 8, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oh, there's another one in here. 8 mackerel fillets, which the plan for today is to smoke them for lunch. So I've only ever pan fried or put in an oven mackerel. I've never actually smoked them myself. Always something I wanted to do. So we're going to give it a go. So yeah, so first up, I'm going to put these ones out of the way. I'm going to show you how I do it with 1 mackerel fillet, just to make it easier, but I will do them all. Also, of course, I have processed, gutted, filleted these mackerel. I haven't put that in a video, just because it's quite gory and not everyone wants to see it, although I appreciate some of you may. There's loads of videos on YouTube and online about how to do this, so if you do want that, just search it, because that's how I found out how to do it. So this one, so these have all been deboned. I've taken the center kind of spine of ribs out, and also I've shaved off the rib cage. So we should have a nice mackerel fillet. So the first thing to do, or the best thing to do, that I've learned with smoking mackerel, is to use a bit of salt, a bit of sea salt, just to cover the fillets for about 5 minutes initially, and let them sit in that salt for 5 minutes. What this does is it draws the moisture out, and also it creates this, there's a word for it, but it creates this kind of like film on the outside, this layer on the skin, which will really help absorb the smoke flavour when we put it on the actual smoker. So that's what we're going to do first. Tell you what, I'm going to do all of them. So you can be generous with this salt because we are going to wash it off. We're not going to be kind of eating it with this level of salt on because that would taste horrendous. But what we'll do now is stick a timer on for 5 minutes and we wait. Just get up to the 5-minute mark and you can probably see that's all it takes. If you can probably see the difference in colouring along here where they've just cured in that salt, and that's exactly what we want. We just wanted that slight curing process to happen in the salt. And we're good to go. So next up, need a bowl of cold, fresh water. It's pretty important this is cold apparently. You don't want anything that's warm or lukewarm, but nice, just kind of fresh cold water. No salt added to that at all. And what we're going to do is just dip each fillet in there, rinse off that salt, because we don't want that strong saltiness on the actual mackerel when we eat it. This. And then just to dry them off, I've got some paper towel. You don't see the difference the salt makes. You can see that kind of curing process happens. I'm just going to get that excess moisture off. I'll dry some more. This is next one, I kind of tried different knife first, it didn't go too well. And so it's again, but it was a bit flesh like the big one, so I managed to get a kind of skin fillet, which will. And then one more. There. Finish drying these up. Get all that excess moisture off that you can. Beautiful. Now there's one last step that we need to do before we stick these on the smoker. Which if I put these all the way down, oh, these are dried off nicely. So what I've got here is just a bit of olive oil, and I'm just gonna dip my finger in there and just oil the skin up. One, this will make it go nice and crispy and make it even nicer to eat than it is, but also it will just help it not stick to the grill when we're smoking them. There we go, that's it. And there we have 8 little mackerel fillets ready for the smoker. Just look at the colours. They're an incredible fish. The patterns on them as well. Awesome. Alright, let's get our charcoal ready. So the way that I'm going to do this, I have a kind of cylinder barrel type smoker barbecue that I've used last year and years before for kind of like briskets and that kind of thing. But like I say, I've never done mackerel in it. And I do have, which is actually my cousin's, which I'm borrowing for a little while now, this little kind of smoking box, which is really, really handy. So I've got some hickory smoking chips that have just been soaking in this bowl for about 15-20 minutes. Once that's done, these will go in here, and this will sit kind of on or above the coals once they've kind of burnt down to embers. And yeah, this will release a smoke with the fish sat on top, and we should have some lovely smoked mackerel. We've got the coals burning down nicely, nearly ready to go, set on the barbecue. The mackerel's all set up down here on the grill. I tell you what, I am super excited to get these down me. And pretty much as fresh as you can get, unless I did it last night, but I didn't really fancy smoking mackerel fillets at 1 in the morning. I don't think my neighbours would be too happy either. We had a rogue ember try and work its way through to my feet. Definitely don't do this barefoot, guys. Here we go, guys. Straight off the smoker. Check that out. Nice and crispy skin. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely buzzed with these. Nice little potato salad to go with it. Dig in. Good potato salad. Really juicy. You really taste the smokiness, it's really coming through. I don't know if you can see the colour. It's a lot different to what you get in the shop. typically, because I think a lot of times they just die the fish. You can see how easy it just wants to just fall apart like that. And none of that salt comes through from earlier. It's all washed off. That is incredible. Fresh fish always tastes completely different to what you get from like the freezer, or you know, what you'll find like in the freezer aisle in the supermarket. It's so different. The flavour, the texture, it's just a million times better. Just a quick note before I demolish the second plate. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you took anything away from it, if you learned anything, if it inspired you to get out on the water, it's so easy to catch mackerel. Obviously we did it from a boat yesterday, but it can easily be done from a pier. It can be from a pier. It can easily be done from a pier. It can be done from the beach. It can be done from, of course, a boat like we did yesterday. But it's super easy to simple. We targeted mackerel yesterday. It was kind of our main species that we want to catch, but you can also catch pollock that way. I mean, we caught a wrasse, we caught a garfish. There's all sorts that can be caught, but mackerel, you know, we're kind of coming into the season now where mackerel are going to be aplenty. It's a really sustainable way of catching your fish. You know, we released smaller ones, anything we didn't want, like the wrasse, for example, we were able to re-release and it went back into the ecosystem. No harm done. So it's a really sustainable way of catching fish. I've now got dinner for the next probably 3 nights sorted. My mum took a garfish and a couple mackerel, so she's got a couple meals out of it. And it's a lot of fun, and it's good exercise, you know, great weather that we're getting at the moment. So I do encourage you, if you're at all interested, to get out there. If you haven't got access to a boat, like I say, get on a pier, get on a beach, stay safe, but enjoy it. And yeah, get some dinner. If you did take something from that video, I do appreciate any likes, any subscribes that you'd like to commend onto the channel. I know it's cringy and every YouTube channel out there says it, but it genuinely does help. It supports the channel by getting more eyes onto the channel, so the more people can see my paddleboarding videos, more people can see the fishing videos, the boating, whatever. They can see, you know, how much the coast and the water has to offer. Pretty much anyone in the UK, you know, if you're not near the coastline, you can get to a lake, to a river. We've got waterways all over the country, so, and if you're across the world, if you're seeing this, I've seen a few people start subscribing and watching from America, so if that is you, then hi, thank you for tuning in, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I just encourage anyone to get out there and enjoy the water best they can. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one, but for now, until next time.